Hey guys, and welcome back to this week's video of the 52-week project. This week I am in Amsterdam. However, the shoot was actually done in Rome a couple of weeks ago because I did two at once to help me get through the last bit of Europe where I was really traveling quite a bit, almost every day. So it was going to be really difficult to organize a shoot for the days I was traveling. So yeah, I did it back in Rome and it was a really good shoot. Although at the time, I think looking through the photos, I wasn't sure how they were going to turn out. I just felt like I was a bit off my game, like on the second shoot that I did that day. And I think overall, like, I'm pretty happy with the end result. So I'm going to show you guys that later. First off, I'm going to show you some behind the scenes from that day and show you guys a little bit more of where we were shooting and what went on. Good morning, guys. Today I have a photo shoot in Rome. It is my second one of the day, which is really exciting. The first one went really well, but this shoot is going to be in advance for my next week of the 52-week project, which will be week 8, I'm pretty sure. That might change. I can't remember what week I'm up to. I've been so busy traveling, but yeah, I'm really excited to walk around. And the last photo shoot that I did, I felt like there wasn't a lot of great locations around where I'm staying at the moment, as far as backdrops for photos. So I think we're going to walk a little bit further this time and check out some of the other side streets and see what we can come up with. Hope you enjoyed those behind the scenes. So like I said in my last 52-week video, I was going to change how I was going to do this and show you guys my photos first and then go through the critique. Because I think it's good for you guys to form your own ideas and opinions of the photos first and then maybe see what I have to say afterwards. First off, I'm going to show you guys my final edited photos from the shoot and you guys can have a look through and then I'll go into my critique afterwards. So those are my photos from the week, guys. I hope you enjoyed looking through them. This photo I'm going to start off with first with my critique. It's not exactly how I wanted it to turn out. I don't mind the photo, but I really wanted a kind of different look for it. I just wanted it to be a lot more striking and a little bit more strength in the pose, and I think that's definitely my direction there. I wasn't probably giving enough direction in terms of that. I still like the photo, as I said before. I just don't think it's enough for me to put it in my top 5 this week. This photo is actually one of my favorites from the week. I really love how it turned out, and I love the backdrop. I did walk around for a while to find something that really was a bit more striking and a little bit more interesting. We were kind of staying in a little bit more of a modern area of Rome, so I thought that the buildings were a little bit plain. There wasn't anything that had that kind of rustic old look to it, and that's really what I wanted as a backdrop for this particular shoot. So when I did find this wall, I was over the moon. Tried to get as many photos as I could against it in different variety of angles. So yeah, I was really pleased with this photo, and it's going to be in my top 5 this week. This is another one that I really do like, but I think there's probably a little bit of strength missing from the shot, maybe in the expression. And once again, that comes down to my direction. And even though I do love the wall and I like Jessica's pose as well, I just don't think that I've given enough direction in terms of the expression and maybe a little bit more strength in the pose as well. This photo is another one of my favorites from the week. I don't know why I love this shot, to be perfectly honest. A lot of people would say they're not too happy with how I crop the hair in photos, which is totally fine. Like, everyone has their own opinion on it. I tend to like doing that sometimes, and I do it purposefully. It's just something that I've noticed in a lot of fashion editorials before, and it's something that I kind of like. I like having that composition with the face further up in the photo. I think it gives a little bit more height to the model a lot of the time, because it makes her seem a little bit more imposing or a little bit taller when her face is further to the top of the photograph. So that's just something that I've always kind of found with doing that, and something I personally like. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, and they may not like this photo as much, but for me, I really love how I edited the photo, and I think I'm getting better at really bringing the skin texture back through in the images. And I really don't want to be that person that's continuously editing skin to the point that it just looks fake. So I'm really happy with how this particular shot turned out and how it was edited. So this week it will be in my top 5. This photo, unfortunately, was another one of those photos that just didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to, and it was more to do with composition of the door behind Jessica. So it's not so much her pose or her expression that I was unhappy with, it's more the location. Not so much the location even, it was the fact that I didn't have enough room to move back and actually take the shot that I wanted. There was cars parked on the side of the road. I couldn't get through, and it was either going to be a really, really wide shot or a really, really close up. It just didn't really work the way that I wanted it to. I still like this shot, but it's definitely not the shot that I wanted, so it's not going to be in my top 5 this week. Once again, it's just a shot that I really hoped would have turned out better. I like the shot. I think it's a little bit different, and that's why I added it in the collection of photos this week. However, one thing that I'm not happy with is the composition. I just don't like how she's very far towards the bottom, and I had to make it that way, as I said, because of the cars parked on the side of the road. I just could not get the angle that I needed. So yeah, unfortunately, this one is not going to be in my top 5 this week, but I do kind of like the shot. It's just that the composition's a bit off for me. I really like this shot as well. I wanted a little bit more strength in the pose once again. I like the colours of the buildings and some of the tones and the way that they've worked into the photograph. But I think there needs to be a little bit more of a fashion element here. It just looks a little bit too soft. And I think it's kind of losing the editorial element here and going a little bit more commercial. So I think that's what I don't particularly like about this photograph, because I think with some of the other photos this week, they do have a good fashion element. So this one's not going to be in my top 5 this week. This photo I really do like, and I debated whether to change it into black and white, but I did in the end. I think it just works better as a black and white image and with a bit of grain as well. I really like the kind of old feel that it has to it. It sort of reminds me a little bit more of Paris than what it does of Rome, but I like how it's showing off the jacket in this image, and I just like the way her hair is falling and her expression. Yeah, so I really like it. It's going to be in my top 5 this week. This is a photo that I think is very simple, but I actually really like it, and it's another one that I think that I edited the skin quite well in, and I tried to keep as much texture as possible. I like the tones and I like the red jacket. I like how it's sort of come together in the end here. And I really like Jessica's expression in this shot too. I think it's still got a bit of a fashion element to it, so it's going to be in my top 5. This one I like, but not as much as the previous photo. I think it's just not as interesting for me. The angle of the shot and the backdrop is not as exciting, I think. So personally, I like the last shot better than this one, but it's still an okay shot. This is one of my favorites from the week as well. This is going to be in my top 5, and I did stay for quite a while, probably about 20 minutes trying to get this shot, and I just constantly got Jessica to walk back and forth across the road and trying to get that one shot that I really liked. The one thing I'm not overly happy with in this photograph is the cars, but I feel like it's, you know, I can overlook it. It's really not that big of a deal to me. I think it still gives that street vibe, and I like how it looks like she's crossing the road, and the signs in the background are kind of cool, and it sort of has that really cool European vibe, which I really wanted in these photos this week. So I'm really happy with this shot, and it will be in my top 5. So for my top photo this week, I'm choosing this particular photograph. I think that there's just something about it that I really enjoy, and I think it's a bit different for me. And I also think that it's got a really good fashion element to it. I'm really happy with how the photo turned out in the end and how I edited it. I think it just came together for me, and that's why I'm going to have it in my top 5. It was between this photo here and this particular photo, because I really do like how this also turned out, and I think it's got a really cool feel to it. But overall, I think I'm just more proud of the fact that I got a full body shot once again that I'm really happy with, which is not something that I always get to do. I do a lot of portraits, so this is really one that I'm quite proud of this week, and it's going to be my top photo. Hope you enjoyed the photos from this week, guys, and my critique. So now I'm going to go through what I think I could improve on for next time and what I think I did well. So I actually think I did 2 things well this week. I took a lot of photos, which was really good because a lot of the photos really needed to have a lot of photos taken, if that makes sense. A lot of the moving shots I wasn't getting right on the first shot, and I needed to really take my time and make sure I got the shot with taking a variety of images and a variety of angles. So I'm really glad that I did spend the time, and I was actually quite patient this week, and I did that. The other thing I think I did well was I think it's got more of a fashion edge this week, which I'm really pleased with. I think the images, I was thinking more fashion when I was taking them, and I think in the end they do have more of a fashion feel to them, and I'm pretty happy with that as well. The thing that I think I could improve on this week is to make sure I do have more of a focus on styling though. So I think I said the same thing last week. My focus on styling hasn't been great while I've been traveling because I'm not able to bring my own clothes along or really even buy anything while I'm over here because I just don't have the funds to do it while I'm traveling. So I am getting the models to style the majority of their wardrobe, but I think in future it would be good to be more specific with what I need from styling, and especially with relating it back to the mood board, because I feel like these shoots haven't really fit what the mood board was initially saying. I still like the images and I'm happy with the shoot overall, but it's really not getting the vibe from the mood boards I've provided. So I think it's just making sure that that's kind of having that connection there, and that I focus more on styling for next time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this week's video from 52 Week Project. If you'd like to join our groups on Facebook and Flickr, the links are in the description box below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please do. And I will see you next time. Bye!